time, with the new row, we have a new spacing. Now we see something that says call MD4. So what's actually going on there? So remember that the distance from the left to the right is a distance of 12. So now, if we want to have three features that are equally spaced with the same distance, some pretty standard math, we have a total distance of 12, and we have three features. So how much distance should each feature take? Just do a simple 12 divided by 3. So if you do 12 divided by 3, you get a value of 4. So now if we go back to our text editor, you can see on line 89 that it says call MD4. So what this is doing is that for this particular class, it is going to position whatever content we have inside of this class onto that division of 4. And we have given it a class of feature, and we also have given a color associated with it by saying primary. So if you remember from the navbar example I did, that primary gives you the color purple. And we also are using the material icons here, using this I class. So remember that I is for getting fonts, right? For calling fonts. So we say I class material icons to specify the material icons library, which we were looking at earlier on Google. And this is specifying the one for chat. So there was actually an icon there for chat. And you can see that there is a chat icon that shows up, and it's the color purple. And below that, we've given a title for this feature. We said that it's the first feature. But let's say we change this a bit. Instead of saying chat, let's change this to science. And let's change this first feature here to ideas to reality. Something like this. And we don't really need to keep the description for now. So let's go ahead and get rid of this paragraph tag. That's what the P means, by the way. The P means paragraph. So now, if we change this, look what happens. Okay, just kidding. The science doesn't show up. So we actually have to use one of those given ones. So let's say we use something like cloud. So now a cloud shows up, a purple cloud. Now, the reason why I chose a cloud is because some people see clouds in their dreams. Sometimes these clouds could block their ideas. Sometimes it could be a cloud full of ideas. So I also want you to think of a cloud in a similar philosophical manner, that you see a cloud in your dreams, but at the same time you also see a cloud in real life. You see clouds all the time whenever you look outside. So if clouds show up in both your ideas and in real life, wouldn't it make a lot of sense to incorporate that as a symbol from going from your ideas to the real world? I would think so. So that's why I chose this purple cloud here. Now, we can do some other stuff. So, of course, Skylus is not only about getting your ideas to realities, but it's also about prototyping, right? So let's actually talk about that. So let's say we have a second feature here, which is going to take the other section of 4. So we're going to change the second feature here to, what's it called? Prototyping. And yeah, I guess we can use this verified user one, or we can change that to a different icon if we want to spend some time with the material icons. But let's see if I can come up with a decent one from the top of my head. So prototyping, let's just say that prototyping involves a lot of teamwork. So if we actually have one for teamwork, let's see if that works. So we go ahead and change this. So something does show up, right? We have this little suitcase here. Yeah, but can someone tell me what went wrong? Why is its positioned like that? Because what I did was I got rid of the paragraph tag, right? And then inside of the material icons, I'm changing this to teamwork. And now if I go ahead and refresh this, then I see that it shows up here. Now why is it doing that? That's a great question. I don't know. But let's say I change this. Let's say that I change this to email. I change this to email. Now it shows up where I want it to be. This is, a basic icon for the meantime. And now let's add a third feature, which is going to be, let's see. So remember, Skylus is trying to grow your ability as an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur who can build a minimal viable product, be able to communicate your idea to the world, and to be able to have a business strategy for your venture. So in order to set all of this up, besides prototyping and changing your ideas to realities, there is another thing that we have to do, right? We actually have to talk about the business. So, business training. So let's see, business training, and let's go ahead and get rid of this paragraph tag, this little description. And then above that, let's see if we have something related to money. So let's say that we just type in money and see what happens. Let's see if there's actually an icon for that. Alright, so it looks like there isn't one for money, but how about cash? Just throw in a little synonym there, see if that works. Nope. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to material icons real quick to see if I can find something related to money. See if I scroll down here, is there anything related to money? Go ahead and find that. I'm sure there's something. Alright. Cool, attach money. Let's go ahead and add that. So the way we do that is we say attach hyphen money. Whenever you have a space, whenever you have two words inside the icon, we include a hyphen to include both of them. So we say that, and then we just go ahead and save that, and we should be able to see the money icon. Alright, it shows up on the top right as a red hyphen. Now, why is that happening? So let's see if I was wrong, and if we actually space it, what happens? Yeah, it doesn't show up. I knew that wouldn't show up. So what we should do is, let's say if we just keep it together like this. Still doesn't work, but if you do the hyphen, it will show up. It'll show up in a strange manner, but it shows up. Now, why is it showing up there? That's a great question. I wish I knew. But one thing I could tell you is that, let's say we put this in the middle. Let's say we switch it with the email. Oh, well, what's going on there? Say I change this to attach money. And let's say that I put email on this one. So if I do that, now I have a red email, but I have a hyphen for the attached money. So there's some rendering issue that's going on with the attached money. But to see if that's a problem for all of these, why don't we go ahead and type another one that's a two-worded icon. So if we use attach file, for example. So attach hyphen file. So it seems to be a problem for all of them. So let's say that for the meantime, that we stick with the single letter ones. So let's say we use, let's see, are any of these like single ones? Let's see here, functions. So if we say functions, let's go ahead and edit that. Cool. So we have a little function there. And I guess for the meantime, this will do. Of course, you can change this to however you want, customize with any icons. Just showing you guys how to position all of this stuff and understand Bootstrap while we're working on it. And now, so this is the Our Services part. So why don't we go ahead and go down here to the Here is Our Team. So, of course, what I'm going to be doing here is I don't want to complete all of this for you because this is a little bit of a tedious task. But basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to just go ahead and create what do you call it? I'm going to go ahead and replace these names with names of Skylus members. Now, with the permission of the Skylus exec board, we'll give you a folder with a bunch of images of all the Skylus members. And then I'll leave you with a challenge to do here. So let's go ahead and get this done. So we just go to Atom, and if we go down here to where it says Here's Our Team, let's change this title to saying This is Skylus with an exclamation mark. And then, as you can see, we have a class called Team, and we have another row which has a call MD4. And inside of this division that says Team Player, we have a image source, which is what the img src means. And the source is like, where is your file? So it's like, is it on your image folder? Is it on the web? All that stuff. So as you can see, it's a local file. So let's say that there was a avatar of Matthew. So you should be able to see Matthew's picture inside of the image folder once you get it from the exec board, probably on Facebook Messenger. So you just go there, and then you can get all those images, and you can change this to Matthew's image by just specifying his image. It might be in a faces folder, so he might be like face1, so you could say face1.jpg. And let's say that you're not satisfied by making it a raised circle. So if you want to change that, there are a couple things you can do. First, you want to get rid of the raised attribute of image, and you want to change circle to square. So you can actually do that. And then if you save that, watch what happens to Gigi Hadid's avatar. Now it becomes a square. And of course, you want to change that to the name of your Skylus member, which in this case is going to be Matthew. So you say Matthew, and then Simmons. And we all know that Matthew is a model in secret, but what's actually going to be happening is we're going to say that he is the founder and CEO of Skylus. And of course, with by asking Matthew, you can get a little description about him here, and you can also ask him for permission to include his Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook here as well, if he would be so generous to provide that. But yeah, if you go ahead and refresh this, then you should be able to see those changes. And you should be able to do this for every single Skylus member. Of course, after you also change their images. But there's one other thing I wanted to share with you as a challenge. So, since our max distance is 12, we can't incorporate 29 Skylus members with just one row. So my challenge to you is to figure out how to include all of the Skylus members in the neatest, most neat-looking way possible by using this concept of the grid with rows and columns. And after you do that, I want you to go ahead and edit each of those entries so then it includes all of the Skylus members. So you go ahead and do that, and then next week we'll go ahead and continue.